My next interview is with Alanna Wilcox. She's a fiber artist. Um, the first thing that really stood out to me with her is that she has the ability to master many, many crafts. She weaves, she knits, she dyes, and she spins beautifully. So this is really impressive to me that from the outside it just looks like it's very all effortless, and it looks really truly beautiful. Another thing that is really impressive to me is her is the way she seems to be very very organized. Well, very very organized. She's the most organized of all the people I interviewed for this, which is a very rare and viable quality for an artist. And this seems to give her some headspace to really be able to have many many projects at the same time. She wrote a book. She offers classes and workshops. So she's really a complete artist, and I wish you like to discover her as much as I did.
Hello, my name is Alanna Wilcox, and I am a fiber artist. I'm also an author, an educator, so I teach high school and a workshop instructor. And my business is just my name, it's just Alanna Wilcox. I have a website, it's alannawilcox.com. And so on there, I basically sell online workshops, lessons. I have a dye guide as well as a spinning book. I sell dye formulas. So I have not necessarily like physical products, but more services, I guess. And I also do workshops both online. And so in the past, I've done them in person at the Twist Festival. So I know it might sound, cheesy or I don't know, typical, but for me, really, it's life and everything around me. So my experiences, things that bring me joy and make me happy. Those are the things that I like to kind of bring into my work and into my projects. So I don't necessarily work in one specific like textile or fiber end use. I am a spinner, so I do make my own yarn, but I do it so that I can knit with the yarn, I can weave, I can crochet, I do felting, embroidery. So I don't necessarily stick with one medium, but definitely color is also a really big thing. So for example, I have different projects going on. So like one project that I finished a long time ago are these gloves that I have over here. So this glove over here. So like something like this, I started with a photograph and I used the colors from the photograph to create this glove. And I started with a commercial pattern, but then I modified it. So this is like one thing that I made. Over here, a current project that I'm working on. Ooh, let me get it there. Okay. So this project over here, I'm affectionately referring to as my Wizard of Oz shawl. And so each of the different segments in the shawl is going to have a different character theme to it. So for example, the top part over here, I'm trying to get it so you can see, this is like Toto. So it's got woolly mohair, kind of fuzzy texture yarn. Then I have the, rainbow. There's going to be a tornado section. There's the ruby slipper section, and then the yellow brick road. So, the things that inspire me basically like are just things that are around me. And then when I'm done with one project, I ask myself, okay, what can I do next? So yeah, so as far as how I work as an artist, it really depends because it's not the main thing that I do. I'm also a mom, and I'm also a teacher. So a lot of times the 9 to 5 obligations come first, but generally I work all the time. Like my brain just doesn't stop, right? So if I have ideas going on for projects, I might, jot them down. I might bring projects with me to a restaurant and knit in the time between ordering the food and the food arrives. So, I really try to squeeze in all of what, people might call like is a downtime into my creation time. And so as far as an artist and my process, I tend to be, or organized chaos. And what I mean by that is that, I have so many ideas going on at the same time for lots of different projects. And so in order to keep kind of my thoughts organized, I have a lot of different like digital notebooks where I store information for, my inspiration. So if there are patterns that I like, if there are yarns that I like, I kind of put all of those into these documents. But also when I'm working, because I'm a dyer and a spinner, I like to keep really good records of what I've done, because a lot of times I'll do something and I really like it, and then I might forget, right? Like, what did I use, or where the source was. So what I have over here to show you, like, so I have all of these little samples are dye samples. And this is like one of, I mean, you can see up in the cabinet right there, I have about like 5 or 6 of these. So these are all different dye samples just for one project here. I can open it up so you can see all the colors, so there's like all these different colors. But what I do when I have these samples, it's not just to have them, but I actually access them and I catalog them in such a way that if I have a digital notebook, right, and I have like digital pages, so I'll have like digital page 1, digital page 2, I'll actually number my samples so that they correspond to the digital pages. So like over here, I can pull out one of my little color samples so you can see. Okay, so like see up over there, it has like a number and stuff, like over here. So it'll be like page 18, formula 15. So I try to be very organized in that sense. But as far as like the actual work goes, it's kind of like a squirrel. I have little things in different spots in different places all spread out, but I know where everything is. So it's just organized chaos when I work. The main, I guess, like aspect or component of my work is color work. But I use color as a tool to evoke a mood. So when I make pieces, I want someone to look at it and to have some sort of emotional reaction to it, right? So like with the Wizard of Oz shawl that I showed you, a lot of people, might have memories about watching the movie, or they might have a favorite scene in the movie. And so for me to be able to kind of recreate that experience in fiber is something that I really enjoy. But a lot of the times I try to think of like I said, like an idea or a mood that I'm trying to convey or express, and then how can I use color and fiber as like my language of expressing it. So an accomplishment that I'm very proud of is the book that I wrote for spinning. So it's called A New Spin on Color. And basically everything that you see in this book, so all of the projects, all of the illustrations, pretty much like all of the yarn and samples in there are ones that I've spun, I've created, I've dyed. So the whole project really encompasses like so much of my work and my time. And I was really hoping that it would be well received by other spinners, because it's something that I'm very passionate about. And, this past week, I posted a person's review about it, and I had a couple of copies and they sold out, so it's just been really nice that the thing that I love and I'm passionate about and I care about and sharing with others has also been well received too. So I believe it was the photo with the boat and the sky and the painting, because that was the one that had the most color. As far as an artist goes, in my inspiration, abstract art, I just don't get it. Like it doesn't have the same emotional response in me when I see it. And so again, when I work as an artist, I'm taking the things in that are around me and trying to have like a dialogue with them, a conversation with them. And when I look at abstract art, most of the time I'm just like, okay, unless it's like conceptual art and there's a really interesting title, like if it's a white rabbit, running through a snowstorm and the canvas is all white, then I can kind of get it. But in general, I like photorealistic things. So to me, the boat one with the sunset in the sky, like I love the colors in it. It had a very Monet kind of effect. And so for that one, since I work at different stages, if I were to use that as a source of inspiration, I might pull colors from the painting and then dye fiber. And the way that the colors look in the painting, they're not solid, right? So it's kind of more of like an optical blending. And so as a fiber artist, after I dyed the solid wool, I probably would card it to give it more of a heathered effect. So I'd use like this tool over here, a drum carder to blend the fibers. So for example, instead of dyeing wool, like an orange or that like the peach color as a solid, I might have some white wool, some red wool, some yellow wool. And in that blending and color mixing, it would have more of that kind of like optical color mixing in the fiber. And so if I were to do something like that, maybe, a shawl where it would have like an ombre effect, or I don't know, maybe like a scarf or something where there would be a fade. So just like how the colors fade in the painting, I would want the yarns to kind of match that, so that it would have that that dialogue between the painting and the piece that I create based off of it. The only wish that I have is that there would be more hours in the day, because there's so much that I want to accomplish. And obviously there's only, so much time to do it. But I guess for me personally, I just wish that the things that I create and make, that they will inspire others, that it will get people to think about their own creative process and not, feel so boxed in. Like if you're looking at a scarf pattern, that you have to follow exactly the pattern, exactly the way that it's written, exactly the way that the designer said like the yarns to use and all of that. But that in the work that I create, that it could make other people get excited about the actual process of creation and just be inspired to bring their own artistic message to their own pieces.